lots of times you can come into a tournament setting and play a team that you played recently. It's really not
the case. Yeah, it's strange, you know, in preparing for the game, obviously, you try to look at a team's last 4 or 5 games to see tendencies, how they're playing, and then you always reflect back on the time that you played them. I'm not sure we can garner a lot other than some things that maybe we did offensively or defensively that may have been effective, and then try to adjust it based on present day. But it's a lifetime ago, the first game in the Pavilion, our first SEC home game. Good memory for us, but I'm not sure much is relevant as it relates to how we'll prepare tomorrow.
Everybody's been talking about the point guards, but Alabama's really struggled on the glass. You guys, when you out-rebound
18-2.
Yeah.
When we win the Battle of the Glass. We just talk about our formula. Now, we've got a 31-game model as to here's how we're successful. And one of those key areas is we have to win the Battle of the Glass. We're not the most efficient offensive team in the world as it relates to percentages, but we can't turn it over, leading to live ball opportunities for them in the open floor, and we've got to do a good job on the glass. The fact that we have Ceebus back and he performed like the Ceebus prior to the injuries is encouraging for us in that regard.
What did that mean to his confidence?
I think it did tremendous. He's playing better. He's starting to give us more minutes, and he's starting to be more physical. He's never been afraid to throw his body around, but he's really struggled offensively. So I think for him to have 20-something points and finish some plays in the basket were really good for him and allows him to relax a little bit.
And when you see this draw that you have now, do you feel like you guys still have to win it all as it relates to NCAA?
Yeah, I mean, I think realistically, just based on our RPI number, who knows what's going to happen, you know, around the country. Everything will start really changing here in the next 48 hours because everybody starts to get into their conference tournaments. But for us, I don't even really want to think about the magnitude of having to win 4 games in 4 days. I just want to try to think about, let's win Thursday. Then if you win Thursday, on Friday you get a huge opportunity against, again, the marquee name in college basketball. They have the highest RPI in our league, and it gives you a real opportunity if you want to put yourself back in the game.
I know it's not what any coach goes into the season, but do you feel like you're in the NIT picture right now, or do you have to win one? Or
well, you know what, I don't really know. I do think this, you know, as it relates to, you know, things have changed so much in the NIT. Now they do it very much like they do in the NCAA tournament. They have a selection committee, and a lot of it's based on numbers. And they say in the NCAA tournament they never go by conference affiliation. They're going to take the best teams on the board, and the NIT says the same thing. But based on the way that our league has shaken out, there's still a lot of teams here, ourselves included, that have some work to do if they want to get in the NCAA tournament. And their RPI numbers are better than ours as it relates to the NIT. So despite the fact that we have finished 6th in the league and maybe they finished down the road a little bit. So I think there's a lot of things still in play, and for us, we're going into the game as, okay, this is an elimination game. If we lose Thursday, our season may just be over. So we want to go in and play with a sense of desperation that I think this group will.
Before Saturday's game against Tennessee, did Ceebus look like the old Ceebus in practice at least?
You know, it's hard to judge in practice because things are so much more controlled. He had moments where he made plays like you saw on Saturday from finishing plays at the basket, but it's the first time that since he's been back that I saw him do it in an effective manner. When Moody got in the foul trouble in the first half against Tennessee, obviously it was very problematic for us. So we went to him, and during that stretch is when I really thought he started coming back into his own. He made 3 or 4 good plays at the basket and found guys on the perimeter for shots. So it's great to have him back and being as efficient as he was.
What in the matchup against Alabama helped him be so effective in the first game?
I just think his energy was off the charts. I think the fact that we crushed him on the offensive glass. I think we had 15 offensive rebounds, and Ceebus was a major part of that just by being active, finishing plays at the basket.
What's the biggest difference that you've seen this year in Obasa? I mean, what's allowed him to kind of take the step that he's taken?
Well, I think he may be the most difficult guy in our league to guard off the bounce as it relates to being a power dribbler. Now, Tyler Eulis is difficult in another regard. Moody's difficult in another regard. But as far as a straight power driver, I think he's probably the best in our league. And for us, a huge key in the game is keeping him out of the paint. If he lives in the paint, it's going to be problems for us because he shrinks the defense. And that's, you know, they've got guys around him and Edwards and Shannon Hale and Riley Norris that can spread you. And we can't allow those guys to get rhythm shots. So we got to do a good job of making sure that we shrink the floor, don't give him many gaps, and he's playing with great confidence. When you look at his numbers, you know, he's getting 20 points per game, but he's shooting close to 50% from the floor. He's shooting over 40 from three. He's like Moody in that he gets to the foul line 7 or 8 times a game. He's almost a 5 rebound a game guy. He's guarding. He's had a tremendous year.
Coach, what do you see